Hey y'all, it's your girl. Now you already know I'm back with another banging ass, popping ass. You already know motherfucking video, and you can see from the title, we're about to be making a puffer purse. So what you need is stuffing, a yard and a half of fabric, and that's really it. So the first thing you want to do is cut out 6 squares, whatever size you decide you want to do your purse. I did 14 by 14 inches. You want to cut out 6 squares of that, and then I did iridescent fabric too because I wanted to line my lime green fabric and iridescent, and I cut out 6 pieces of the iridescent, but I cut out 4 to match the 14 by 14 inches of the lime green fabric, and the last 2 pieces I cut out into long strips, and they were about 20 inches from top to bottom. And what you want to do is, as you see I'm doing, matching up the iridescent fabric to the lime green fabric and cut it out so that it exactly matches the 14 by 14 lime green. So after you have all your pieces cut out, what you want to then do is grab 2 pieces of the fabric that you're using for your purse, and you want to put right sides together and make sure that the edges matches together perfectly. They're aligned. That is very important. And after you do that, what I decided to do was go in with a few pins across the border of the fabric. You don't have to do this, but I just did that because I know I'm going to be flipping the fabric back and forth because I'm going to press it. And once you have your pins pressed in, you're going to then find the side of the fabric that you want to use to be your opening of your purse, and then you're going to flip over the fabric towards the wrong side, and you're going to press them both down. Okay, that is very important. You can do this later, but I prefer to do it now. And then you're going to sew around the 3 edges. Make sure to not sew the opening closed. You're just going to sew the 3 edges that are not pressed down. So once you have your 3 sides sewn down, you're going to use your ruler and whatever type of marking pencil you used. I used a fabric pencil, and you're going to put a plus sign directly through the middle of the fabric because you're going to use these as a guide to sew. Once you have your plus sign, you are then going to sew the top to bottom seam. Please make sure it is the top to bottom and not left to right. That is very important because you have to put the stuffing in the left to right. So to add the lining, what I did was use the same 4 iridescent pieces in the beginning, and I just pinned them to both sides of the lime green fabric. You can do this while sewing the lime green fabrics together. You can sew them all in one, but I didn't. I did it this way. And what I do is just pin it on all sides, as you can see. And once you're done doing that, you're going to then sew on try to stay on the same seam line that you sewed previously when you were just sewing the lime green pieces together. You're just going to try to stay on that same line and sew all around the 3 edges. So now we're going to add our stuffing to the bottom half. You can use whatever type of stuffing feel you would like, but I used this one. I got it from Walmart. It's not that expensive. And you're just going to stuff the bottom half of both bag pieces, okay? Make sure not to go over the line. Once you do that, you're going to sew that line that you drew on there, and you're going to sew it down. That's when you're going to sew your left to right line, okay? Make sure that when you're stuffing, though, you do not go over that line because you have to sew down, okay? And you're going to do that for both bags. Okay, so boom, let's get into these straps. So what I did is I took the last 2 square pieces that I had from the lime green fabric in the beginning, and I put them together, and I measured out 4 straps with a 5-inch width. Once again, I measured out 4 straps with a 5-inch width. Please make sure that each strap has the same width. They need to have the same width. That is very important. Once you do that, you are then going to put 2 of the straps together, and you're going to sew them down the middle, like so, as you see me doing. You're going to do that to both sets. So at the end, you should have 2 long straps, okay? And then once you sew both of them down, you are then going to fold over and press down the straps end to end, edge to edge, but make sure that they're facing right sides together. So you want the bad side, the ugly side of your fabric to be showing towards you right now, okay? After you have both straps pressed together, you're then going to sew them down close, but make sure that you use your sewing machine or something as a guide so that you're sewing down the same amount, the same width on both straps. You want them to be sewn down equally at the same distance and width from the edge, okay? In the beginning, I meant to say you need a loop turner or a safety pin, because what I'm doing now, you now need to turn your straps inside out, and I'm using a safety pin. And it's basically simple. If I need to make a video, just let me know in the comments. So now let's stuff the strap. So what I did is add a pin to one end of the strap, so when I'm stuffing it, the stuffer do not go out the other end. And I'm going to do that to both sets of straps. I'm just going to put a pin on each, well, not on each end, but one end of each strap. And then I'm just going to start stuffing the stuffing. You can use quilt batting for this, but I wanted the puffy look all around, even within the straps, so I use my actual stuffing to stuff the straps. And you're just going to go in and stuff the straps all the way until it's full. Now you need to see where you want to place your straps on your bag. So what I did personally was measure out 2.5 inches from the edge to the beginning of the strap. And you want to make sure that you have the same distance for both sides of the straps. You want to have the equal distance for both sides of the straps, from the edge to the strap on both sides. And I just did a little pin between each one so it could be held in place so that I can sew them down. After you sew the straps, stuff the top part. Stuff the top part. So after you have your straps attached and you're stuffing on the top half of the purse, you are then going to go to the sewing machine again, and you're going to finally sew the opening that we had opening all this time shut. So you're going to sew both sides of that fabric together to make a closed seam. Once you have both openings on each piece of the purse sewn shut, you are then going to put the purse together and sew the purse all together to make one piece. It is going to be difficult simply because it's stuffing, and the stuffing is going to shift it, but you just got to make sure that you manipulate it to stay where you need it to be sewn, and then you're going to trim off all the extra iridescent fabric, and then boom. And voila, y'all, this is the final product. Go follow my business page at z.dessins on Instagram, because I am going to be making and selling these in different colors, and I'm also going to be making matching puffer jackets. So please do not forget to follow my social medias, but especially my business page, to stay up to date and be able to purchase these things. Thank you.